You're watching Picks on Politics with Dan Manarino.
Welcome back to Picks on Politics, everybody. And while not as prominent in the headlines as the mayoral race, there is still a showdown happening lower down on the ticket, the race for New York City Comptroller, the position to provide a check on the mayoral office and following the trail of money, of course. Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine wants to move into that role, and he is now going on the record. Mr. Levine, great to have you on Picks on Politics.
Thanks, Dan. Great to be here.
So before we get into your race, I want to get your thoughts overall on what is just kind of looming overhead and this idea of control by the governor, issuing some guardrails on the mayor's office, because it kind of trickles down to all the other agencies as well, comptroller being one of them, right? So what do you think of the guardrails? Do you support them?
I do. And in fact, there's a provision that will empower the office of the New York City Comptroller to sue the Trump administration or presumably a future administration, if need be, if the mayor's unwilling or unable to do that. So I support this measure. I think it will help New York City fight back against the Trump agenda, which is targeting us cruelly, chaotically, again and again. And leaders need to step up. And so I do commend the governor for doing this.
In the race for mayor right now, because it is just a few months away, and your race as well, who are you supporting in the race for mayor?
No endorsements at this time. Not going to break news here. And I may not break news on this topic during the race. Okay. Look, it's important for a comptroller to be totally independent from any mayor, and partly to preserve that independence. I'm holding back. But certainly watching the race closely.
Let me ask you why you decided this office. Why is this the next jump for you into citywide office?
Yeah, look, I could have run for a safe re-elect to borough president. It's a great job. But honestly, comptroller is my dream job for so many reasons. It's a job I've been preparing for my entire career. You know, I have a technical background, studied physics in college. I was a math and science teacher in the Bronx, founded a community development financial institution in Washington Heights. So I had the background in finance and leading organizations. And I see this as an underappreciated role that actually is incredibly powerful and important in being a check on the mayor, in managing one of the largest pension funds in the world, and helping to push government so that agencies do better by taxpayers, that they produce services that New Yorkers need. We've got a lot of work to do, and we need to restore confidence in government. We need to deal with the affordability crisis, and the comptroller's office is the platform to work on that.
You are facing Justin Brannon in this race as city council member. He received his big endorsement and backing from the Working Family Party. So they're often left-leaning, right? Brannon has described himself as a moderate Democrat in this race. Did that endorsement surprise you, and how do you describe yourself politically?
Well, first, I'm incredibly proud of my endorsements, which dozens and dozens of elected leaders in every part of New York City, union endorsements as well. We got retail workers a week or so ago. So we're building a large and diverse coalition. Look, I'm not sure I think labels are too helpful. I would say that I'm a pragmatic left-of-center Democrat. And I'm running to provide responsible leadership for the economy, for the budget, and for solving the crises of affordability and public safety and more. And it's resonating with voters throughout the city.
The reason I ask is in this world that we live in where everything is so divided and left, right, center, or whatever, maybe too far left, too far progressive, it seems like that has now energized voters in each aspect of that. So that's why I was asking what exactly you describe yourself as. But why do you think you are the better man for the job?
Well, I'm not going to talk negatively about any of my opponents. I'll only talk about why I'm proud of my record. And I'll say that again and again, I have seen difficult problems, stepped up, led to solve them, to find solutions. When I got to the city council, we are in the midst of an absolute epidemic of evictions, 25,000 a year. I passed legislation in the New York City Council, together with my partner at the time, then Councilmember Vanessa Gibson, to make New York City the first place in America with a right to counsel for tenants facing eviction in housing court. It's been a game change. As Health Committee Chair in COVID, I stepped up, drawing on my background in science, to fight for good policy when that was tough politically. And now, as Borough President, I've put everything I've got into the fight for more affordable housing, and we're winning here in Manhattan. As Comptroller, I'll take that leadership record citywide to solve big problems, again, on affordability and public safety, confidence in government, and more.
So you mentioned the Trump administration at the top, right? And I know that this is more of a state issue, but congestion pricing is a big issue right now that the Trump administration is saying that they would like to stop, and stop it by March 21st, right? And the question now is, how does the MTA make up that money? I know it's a state issue, but do you have an opinion on the matter in terms of congestion pricing?
Well, first of all, it's been remarkably successful at reducing congestion in Manhattan. Actually, better than many experts predicted. The travel time on some of the tunnel crossings is down 50%. You feel it if you walk around Midtown. It's relieved the pressure on the grid in important ways. It is also providing billions of dollars of capital investments to the MTA. And if the Trump administration succeeds at killing it, my question is, are they going to fill that $15 billion gap that will fund station renovations and building elevators and modernizing signals and more? And furthermore, legal experts I have spoken to don't see the Trump administration winning in court. And the courts have not weighed in on this.
Right.
The courts will decide. And people I've talked to are putting the odds on the state prevailing in court.
You know, and I also listening to you carefully talk about the affordability crisis, and that comes down to building and apartments, right?
Yeah.
And so as comptroller, you want to fight for the affordability. Does that support, I guess, or go along with what the mayor is doing currently with the City of Yes plan?
Look, I have plenty of criticisms of the mayor, but I will say this. I do support and did support City of Yes because of its impact in Manhattan, where we have 90 million square feet of vacant office buildings. A key provision of this zoning change will allow us to convert those vacant office buildings to housing. This is going to be extremely important to Manhattan. There's no getting around it, Dan. We have to build more housing in New York City. We have to build more affordable housing, or everyone who's not wealthy is going to be priced out of the five boroughs.
Is that the number one issue for you? If you were to win comptroller, you have a number one issue to tackle on day one. Is it affordability? It
is. And the comptroller could potentially have an important role here by investing city pension funds, prudently, of course, in financing affordable housing that wouldn't otherwise be built. The hardest challenge in building more affordable housing right now is actually the financing, even harder than finding the properties. There are hundreds in the queue, hundreds of projects in the queue right now waiting for financing. As comptroller, I'll use the pension money to help solve that problem, to speed up projects that might not otherwise be built.
And do you have that ability, or do you need a mayor to support that plan as well?
Yes. Well, there is a complicated governance structure on each of the five.
Complicated government structure.
Yes,
never would have guessed.
There are 5 different pension funds, and so you have to build coalitions.
Yeah.
Labor unions obviously have significant seats, as do the mayor and other officials. But I think it's fair to say that the balance of power is with the city comptroller, and that a good comptroller can lead and organize to make change. And I've already been speaking to some of the other trustees. I'm currently a board member. I represented on one of the pension funds as borough president. And honestly, there's a lot of interest in this.
Yeah.
It's been done historically, and it could be good for workers, too.
Let me ask you this, because people often say the comptroller's office is the stepping stone to the mayor's office, right? And I know that this is the office you're running for. I'm listening to you say it's your dream job, but do you potentially want to be mayor one day? Is that something you're looking at down the road?
It's really not. You know, I could have run for mayor now.
Yeah.
And many people encouraged me to do that. And I didn't, because I want to be comptroller. I'm running for a job that I actually want to do, not because I'm looking for a stepping stone. I'd be thrilled and honored if New Yorkers give me this opportunity.
Okay. Mr. Levine, we are actually proud to announce that we are hosting the debate for the comptroller's race. So we'll see you on the debate stage as well.
Can you leak some questions to me, Dan?
Well, no.
Darn it.
Great to have you here. Great to have you here. Less than a month into congestion pricing, everybody, and the federal government wants to pull the plug, giving New York City less than a month to shut off the cameras. But the MTA not going down without a fight. Pick some politics back with that topic in just 2 minutes.